the CBS News Chicago First Alert Weather Team. This is a special weather alert.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist David Yeomans live in the First Alert Weather Center. We have a threat of severe thunderstorms and flash flooding this afternoon. We wanted to join you with a live update on this line of impressive storms that is moving quickly toward and into the Chicago area. Let's first zoom in south of Chicago. You can see this impressive line of storms moving from LaSalle into Grundy counties. This has been a real lightning and rainfall producer for us, really hammering places like Morris, Wauponsee Township, and Braidwood. Matter of fact, if we turn on the lightning illustrator and also counter, you can see how the lightning count, this is every 10 minutes as time rolls along, has generally been increasing. This here is the highest lightning count that we've seen so far today. Over 300 strikes on this cell alone just in the past 10 minutes. So that's 30 strikes per minute. That's one strike every other second that's happening with this cell. So if you are in Grundy County, this is a good time to stay indoors with frequent lightning and just torrential rainfall. If we turn off the lightning counter, you can actually see instead the rainfall rate. This has been a really impressive part of this storm as well because of all of the moisture and humidity that are again out there in the atmosphere today. We've had so many really impressive rainfall events recently, and this could be another one. Luckily, this storm is moving. It's not stationary, but this is some really impressive rainfall rates that we're seeing south of Wauponsee Township. If this storm were to sit over you for an hour, you would get 7.3 inches of rain, which is absolutely torrential. If we go back to the regular radar, put this back in motion, this movement on this storm has actually been shifting a little bit, which is good news for Chicago, even on the south side. It was moving kind of toward the north and east, but now it's riding this boundary of more atmospheric energy, basically from Channahon out to Park Forest. So the worst of this storm, including the potential flooding, potential wind damage, should stay south of Chicago. Let's actually track out the areas that are in harm's way, though, because it's quickly, the front edge of it at least, exiting Grundy County and moving into more populated areas. The rough movement about east-northeast at 25 miles per hour. That'll put the following communities in harm's way, including Kankakee at 1259 and any rural locations between Morris and Wauponsee and Kankakee before that time. Let's pan you up a little bit on the line because this is not the only storm that we have. The line of storms itself a little bit less intense up to Kendall and Kane counties. Still, though, we have some really torrential downpours moving into Aurora, Geneva getting some heavy rain, Elgin, Palatine, and you can see up northward we actually have a different boundary. This is actually associated with a cold front coming into Chicago soon in Buffalo Grove and Lake Zurich. This is also helping some downpours approach and form in these areas. We have one little isolated storm which has just developed here, looks like near Bolingbrook. So any of these storms could develop ahead of the main line as well. Zooming in just a bit on this one, we're not seeing any hail or any severe weather risks with this at this time, but Burr Ridge out to Lamont, these are areas that really got hammered with last week's rainfall last Friday. You remember that one? So any additional rain is going to cause flooding problems pretty quickly. If we roughly track out this part of the line, and keep in mind some little pop-up storms like this over Darien are possible ahead of it, but the main event is moving toward Chicago also about 25 miles per hour. So as we roughly track that out, there are a lot of communities, so we won't be able to see the full hour's timeline, but it'll put some heavy rain, potential gusty winds over 40 miles an hour into Joliet at 12:11, Naperville at 12:13, Elk Grove 12:15, and into places like O'Hare. Would expect a ground stop with this line of storms at 12:21 as this rolls in. This is not the only storm that we're going to have to deal with today. As we put this back on the broad view, you can see this broken line of thunderstorms moving into Chicago. But going through the afternoon, even after this storm moves through Chicago, midday and early afternoon, we have more storms that will be developing. If we switch this over to the future weather model, you can see after this initial blast over the next few hours, could be severe, by the way, as it gets through I-80 corridor south of Chicago into northwest Indiana, there will be more storms developing. By 5, 6 o'clock, look at this little line of storms developing. So we get a wave of storms in Chicago the next couple hours. Then this evening, likely not severe, but more heavy rain developing along this boundary. That east to west oriented boundary this evening will stay in place overnight. That's a cold front, which is finally going to end this awfully hot, humid weather that we've had, but it's also going to focus the rain redeveloping over Chicago overnight and potentially leading to more flash flooding. Overall, a flood watch continues for all of us, including Chicago, through 1 p.m. tomorrow for 1 to 2 inches of rain that's likely, and up to 3 to 5 inches of rain if the right storm sits over you for a longer period of time. We'll have frequent updates right here all day on streaming, CBS News Chicago, and update you on air as the situation warrants. In the meantime, when thunderstorms arrive, good day to stay indoors until the storms pass. We'll see you again here with another live update from the First Alert Weather Center.
This has been a special weather alert from the CBS News Chicago First Alert Weather Team.